The Square Ball Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is the final TSB update of the summer, no less, and we do welcome back Michael Normanton from his holidays. Did you have a nice time?
Very nice, thank you very much.
Did you miss us?
I did a bit, you know.
Did you?
Well, you know, I missed someone to talk about football with. I was just with my family who don't seem to care.
Well, there is that. Did you miss talking about the good work that Levi solicitors do?
Are they still going, are they?
They're still going?
I didn't know if they might have folded with my absence.
They're still going?
That's good to know.
They've signed up for their 10th year, their decades worth of sponsorship of this show.
Are they still doing Will's Probate and Conveyancing?
I bloody hope so.
Good. Me too.
The big of the biggest three.
Very good.
What else did they do?
All sorts of stuff, really. Dispute resolution.
Yeah.
Lasting powers of attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I've already said Will's. All the legal bits.
And they do
bobs.
all of that. Is there a special thing that the listeners can get?
I think you can get a discount or something.
Can you?
I don't know where. Is it written down?
If you go to levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball, you can get a 10% discount on all of your legal fees. Right, let us begin. My name is Dean Smith. Dan is away on holiday, so you've got me for the next couple of weeks. With me is Michael Normanton and Rob Conlon. How are you doing, Rob?
I am good, thank you. It's very comforting to have Michael back doing such a professional job with the read there.
Although he did just name a few things and then threw to me for the end bit.
Yeah, just to keep you on your toes. Yeah,
I need it. So pre-season is over. Concluded with a 1-1 draw against AC Milan in Dublin. Did we see this?
Yes.
Yeah, it was all right, wasn't it? It felt a bit... At the end of this game, I was like, right, come on, let's play a proper game now. But it was nice to see Anton Stack galloping forward from midfield. That was very encouraging. He looked very good, and a lovely goal as well. Admittedly, their goalkeeper went a bit Ilan Melier at that point, but, you know, it was still a beautiful strike. We'll ignore Isaac Schmidt for the time being. But yeah, I thought Nonto looked quite lively. Who else was good? It was just fine. I
thought Goodmanson looked...
Yeah.
Had some nice touches at left back.
I thought we looked recognisably like Daniel Farke's Leeds United. You know, we actually had a lot of the ball and seemed to implement our style on the opposition, who were a decent opposition. I know they had rotated some of their team because they were playing the following day, but I thought Leeds looked decent.
Yeah, Perry looked big. Perry looks huge.
He did. Caught across, threw the ball really far.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Did he go off injured at half time?
No,
probably not.
No, he spoke afterwards and he said he was 100%
good,
raring to go.
But, I mean, all the signings, I've been away for a couple of weeks. Run me through the signings that have happened.
Yes.
Since
Johnny Howson's playing for the under-21.
Yeah, that seems to have been announced today that we've signed him, even though there were pictures of him in the Leeds kit weeks ago.
When he rejoined, and it was his brother that leaked the news, which was lovely seeing all these ITK transfer accounts quoting source, his brother. But all the first team and all the staff, I guess, were in Germany. So I don't know if anyone told them that Johnny Howson had rejoined and that they should probably announce it. But it is official now.
Good. Do we think he'll get some minutes this season?
I would love him to.
I just got a hunch that he'll end up playing centre-back in the League Cup or something.
I was just saying to Dean before we started, he has played right-back for Borough. And, you know, if Isaac Schmidt is still doing his disappearing act, maybe we just get Johnny Howson to stand there.
My time machine would be so perfect for it to be Byram at left back and Howson at right back.
And Alex Cairns in goal.
Alex Cairns in goal. Yeah, what year is it? Nothing to really tell you about signings-wise, Michael, although there is a little bit of chatter still around Bilal El Khanous, although it does seem now that Newcastle have entered the chat. Although they can't get anything over the line, so maybe he will eventually still get up with us. He did play at the weekend against Sheffield Wednesday. Do we want him? Do we need him? Should we have him?
I did watch him in that game. Because I was dipping into it out of morbid curiosity, really, because I actually thought Sheffield Wednesday might get a bit of a pasting because they've not really got any players and it's been a complete shambles. Then they took the lead and I was a bit like, this isn't what I put it on for. I wanted to watch suffering and pain. And they got some in the end because by the end, a lot of it was time wasting, but by the end of it, nearly everyone seems to be down with cramp. A couple of players had gone off injured. Barry Bannon had a red card for 2 yellow cards in about 30 seconds.
Nice.
And I was like, this is more like it.
There's more championship.
This is what I wanted to see. Someone properly falling apart. But I mean, El Khanous looked fine.
Yeah.
He's quite tidy. Took it around people a few times. I wouldn't have said he stood out an absolute mile as being someone we desperately need, but he may also be doing that thing that a player does who's about to get a move, who's just a bit like, yeah, this is my game for this week, but you know, I'm not going to be here for a while, so I'm not going to bust a gut.
Well, it sounds a bit like Leeds made their interest clear a few weeks ago, and his agent has gone, cool, I'm going to wait and see if anyone better comes in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is he like? He doesn't seem as exciting as like Pakshaw, for instance. But at the same time, he probably is a player that type of player that we lack in the squad. But yeah, whether we actually get him, it feels unlikely now. I don't know. You feel like it would have already happened if we were going to get him.
And it seems Isak is really trying to force his move out of Newcastle, which will then leave them with a load of money and Champions League football. And I can see why he would take that over a relegation battle because
he's a coward.
He is very much a coward, yeah. But I guess out coming off a season with Leicester, you might think, yeah, I don't fancy that again.
Yeah, let's not do that again.
Which you can understand, but that's the position you're in, isn't it? As a newly promoted team, you kind of need to really sell the dream, or just offer to pay him a lot more money than other people might.
Yeah, and there was I saw a link with Tottenham as well because Maddison is out for the season by the looks of it, so and he occupies a similar space. So we might just get out big clubbed for El Canoes, but it's difficult. It's really difficult to know what's going on behind the scenes because it does really feel like the club have shut off any sources that any leaks could come from, and you hope that that's the case because otherwise it is definitely quiet out there.
Well, we did hear after the Milan game the link with who's the guy at Juventus? Is it Gonzalez? Was that his name? Who looks decent, but at the same time has a crippling injury record, which is a slight worry. And it does feel a little bit now like the club is sort of crossing names out, getting a bit lower down the list, and they are going to have to accept a player who has his problems, maybe. But then Chris made the point in the Daily Email on Monday, like Gonzalez is probably a similar signing to what Manuel Solomon was last year, where it's like, yeah, it looks good. Career's gone a little bit wayward due to injuries. We're going to hope that he can rekindle his spark at Leeds. But we've seen that go both ways, I suppose.
Part of me expects Solomon to turn up just before the season starts in the way that you're saying. Kanoes is maybe thinking, yeah, I'm going to wait for a better offer. Potentially, it's going to end up that both Solomon and Leeds have been waiting for a better offer all summer. Then it's going to come to like the season will start and they'll go, should we just go again? Comfort shag. We both know what we're doing. Come on. One more season. He can be on loan for the year. It's fine.
A comfort shag.
That's what Manuel Solomon would be. Yeah. We know what we're doing with him, don't we? It's fine.
That's today's title, sorted anyway.
In better news, though, the Championship started without us, which was nice to see. Even nicer to see were Sheffield United getting absolutely spanked and losing their minds on the first day of the season, 4-1 at home to Bristol. Did you see any of this or the fallout after this? We had people calling for the new manager's head after 90 minutes of football. We're so back, baby.
I was relieved on holiday, actually. I knew when I'd booked the holiday I was going to be back in time for the season. And I had it in my head that the Premier League season was like halfway through the holiday. I was like, oh shit, there's a game as soon as I get back. And then I realised, it's the Championship starts then. I get an extra week. Yeah. This is going to be nice. So yeah, it was good to see. It's just been going on without us. But yeah, 4-1 at home on the opening day. Great stuff.
Yeah, I walked into a pub and this was on just as Sheffield United equalised, I think. I was like, that's no fun. And then looked back up at the screen. It's like, have that. Yeah, and also just that manager who once wore a turtleneck. I'm still holding that against him. It's like, you can't do that.
How long do you think until Wilder's back in? October?
Would he go again?
I don't think he can do.
I think they get another manager in between.
Hecky. Maybe Hecky.
Yeah, get Hecky back and then go back to Wilder.
They did that that whole cycle took a while the first time, didn't it? Wilder to Hecky. Back to Wilder eventually, just keep going round. Anyway. Is Warnock still on the loose? Is he in the game?
We fancy one more challenge?
If they're in a relegation battle.
Do you say on the loose?
I was going to say on the loose from...
Just from... He's a danger to the world of football is all I feel. Like, he'll turn up somewhere, won't he? Talk about, doing his usual stories about Clint Hill and Adele and all that sort of stuff. He doesn't change. No,
if there's a podcast that is recording in Sheffield, he'll be there. He'll be knocking about. Anyway, that's so beneath us. We don't have to dedicate any more time to it. Mateo Joseph has gone. The worst kept secret in football. He was really not happy about the season, and he's gone on loan to Mallorca. Sounds nice. He posted on Instagram a message that was full of teases, is what I would say. It seems like he has a story to tell that he will tell at a different stage. It says, "Hi everyone, as many of you already know, this season brings a new stage in my career. I'm going out on loan, but I didn't want to leave without sharing a few words. My time at Leeds United has shaped me both on and off the pitch. I arrived full of hope, started with the under-21s, dreaming of playing for the first team, and that dream came true."
Dean, you can do a Spanish accent. You've done Victor Orta in the recent past. Stick with this.
That accent very quickly turned into Italian as I got more and more tired on the job. I had the opportunity to grow, to establish myself, to experience a promotion to the Premier League, and to share the pitch with great teammates and professionals. It's true that I would have preferred things to end differently. There are situations that haven't been easy, and sometimes not everything depends on you. I trust that time puts everything into perspective, and maybe one day I'll have the chance to tell my side of the story. Now it's time to gain minutes, keep developing, and face new challenges with the same ambition and commitment. I leave motivated and thankful, knowing this is just another step on the journey. See you soon, Matteo. It's a little bit like a Facebook post where somebody would comment underneath, "Text me on." What's going on there, do you think?
It's just, it doesn't feel like it's that deep with him.
No,
he didn't really play. It's like, one day I'll tell you, the truth will come out, sort of thing. And you're like, it's fine. Probably don't need to
sort
know.
of guess the truth.
I probably just don't need to know. Like, yeah.
I enjoyed that. I arrived full of hope and I left because I couldn't be asked turning up for work anymore. I just wanted to go live in Spain, which is fair enough.
Mallorca's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he goes and does well. I'm kind of sceptical that he will. But then I was looking at, I think they finished like 10th last season, so it's quite a good move. But then their top scorer had about 7 goals, so it's not a massively high bar to clear. But at the same time, if you were to clear that, it would probably help both Leeds and Matteo Joseph's prospects out quite a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because the club didn't want an option to buy in there because they want him to go and have a really good season. If he doesn't, where does that leave us and him as well? He's going to struggle to play at a decent level if he doesn't kind of catch fire a little bit in this next 12 months.
Well, Joe Gallagher has just gone back to Hull.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's your answer, isn't it?
Yeah. He's gone to Hull. Charlie Crew's gone to Donny. Are they back in? They're in League One now, aren't they, Donny?
Yeah, they went up last year.
So good luck to those guys. Diogo Montero has left to go to, do you know how you say that?
Surely we're doing a full episode about this.
Oh, yeah, we'll do a deep dive. Has joined FC Arouca in Portugal. We never really knew him, did we? He came in, I remember when he came in, I saw a highlights video of him playing for Servette, spreading these big balls from with his right, with his left, crunching into tackles. Thought, right, he's going to be a mainstay of our defence for a long time. Never seen him.
I mean, we don't know him to such an extent that his name's spelt wrong on this prep sheet. It's Diogo, not Diego.
Oh, that's, yeah.
I said Diogo, though.
I know it's Diogo. I think maybe it's like every time I used to try to write Tom Lees, I'd write the word Leeds. I think it's just muscle memory kicking in.
Do you write Diego a lot?
Don't know. More than Diogo, because as far as I'm aware, that's a made-up name. Or a Portuguese one, whichever.
Yeah, so he's gone. Maybe he was pushed out. He didn't fancy competing with Johnny Howson for a centre-back role in the under-21s. So he's gone. Did we make any cash on him? Did it say anything?
Probably not.
I'm guessing not. They didn't. They normally would tell people if they had.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, he didn't necessarily stand out for the under-21s.
No, he's not that young either, is he?
He's only 20.
Yeah, but I don't know, you kind of, if you're good at that age, you tend to break into the team as a teenager, don't you?
Otherwise you're on the scrap heap, basically. But,
pretty much.
But I mean, he had played senior football, like a handful of games before he joined Leeds. But I think he made his debut at like 16. But yeah, that feels like a very long time ago now.
Was he Victor Orta's final signing?
You've got the spreadsheet, haven't you?
No, it's not up to date. It's not got full dates on it. Because we did sign him at the end of that final transfer window, didn't we?
Was it not Rutter, surely?
Well, they both like last day deals. We'll have to check.
Okay. I struggle to remember the day we signed Diego Montero. It's not seared on my brain.
I'll check my tattoos.
So he's gone. Maybe it's just clearing a little bit of PSR room to finally get in Rodrigo Muniz.
Do you think that's the thing, is it?
I think
we can finally do it now.
It must have been on such lofty wages that we finally got him off the books and Muniz can come in. It seems like we're putting a lot of our eggs into that basket, and it's going to have to work out for us if we are indeed going to get a striker in. We've been linked to England international Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's on a free. He left Everton in the summer. Thoughts on that?
I mean, you say he's on a free. It'd be on huge wages, I imagine, considering especially for the amount of game time he actually seems to get.
Well, as Ken Bates would be saying, he's on job seekers allowance. That's what, that was what Bates used to say, wasn't it, at the end of transfer windows when we'd not signed anyone and we were still sniffing around purely free transfers. And he'd be like, well, they'll get what they're given. And he'd be like, well, they might just get it somewhere else though, Ken, rather than what you're offering. But we don't want Dominic Calvert-Lewin, do we?
Why? Thing is, like,
we've already got a Pat Bamford. We've got Pat Bamford in the freezer.
The original one.
We don't need to go out for a Dominic Calvert-Lewin because he's just injured, doesn't score.
I was going to say he doesn't actually score many goals anymore, does he?
No.
He had a hot streak like Bamford, so maybe he could recapture that with us.
Was it probably the same season? It was a while ago, wasn't it?
Possibly. Has he got more England caps than our Pat?
He must have.
Yeah,
Pat's got
one.
Hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got half a game, hasn't he?
Yeah.
What a game, though.
Yeah, not him. Muniz is a weird one because the club seems to have been relatively confident of getting him, which to begin with, you were like, all right, cool. They're going to have this sorted. But that was a month ago, probably. Yeah. They seemed fairly confident about it. Like they were like, oh no, there'll be movements and it'll all happen. Seemed to be the vibe of it. And we're pretty close to the season starting now, and he's still very much at Fulham. Feels like maybe we've not asked Fulham. It feels like the deal with the player is probably fine, and we've probably spoken to his agent, and that's okay. But then the bit where we have to actually buy him, Fulham have gone, no, we're not selling him. Oh, not for that.
Oh, go on.
And we've gone, well, we'll wait then. And they've gone, all right.
We filled in all the paperwork apart from the bit that says how much we're paying for him, and they're just like, you send it. I'm going
to put 7 million down as the fee. Is that okay? No. Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, Atalanta may or may not have gone, well, we'll just give you the actual money if you want.
So yeah, I do feel we need a striker though, I have to say.
Yeah, we need those 4 in. Whether that happens or how many we can get in before Everton, it will remain to be seen. But before the end of the transfer window, we need fullback, we need a winger, we need a 10, and we need a striker. Because I think we'll kind of loop back around and talk about the end of pre-season in a second. But I think what pre-season showed us is we're going to be pretty solid, but we need that spark. We need those difference makers up top. And would he be that, or is he just a slight upgrade on Mecha in terms of physicality and stuff? I don't know that much about Muniz because I didn't watch the Premier League because we were in it. It made me sad.
He has scored some goals in the Premier League, which is kind of encouraging. Mecha looks sort of decent in pre-season, but he doesn't look like he's going to get more than a few goals.
Yeah.
Would be my. He reminds me a bit of like who else was like Caleb Ekuban, who you sort of watched him run around. You went, I think he's quite decent, but then he go in front of goal, and you're like, is he ever going to score? I'm not sure.
I remember seeing him at Barnsley, thinking he's the future. The work he was doing off the ball and stuff.
Yeah,
and barely scored a goal. I don't know. I mean, watching Pirot at the weekend, I know people were quite down on his performance. I didn't think he was too bad when he got on the ball, but the problem was getting him the ball and just. He's not a striker that's going to impose himself on a defence. And he looked a lot more lively when like Stack was bursting forward or Nonso was cutting inside. And we do need players close to him, basically. Whereas if that's not going to be the case this season, then you do need someone who's a bit more of a presence, I guess.
It's maybe just the nature of being a modern striker though as well. That when you watch Man City play, Haaland sometimes touches the ball like a dozen times in a half of football. But maybe that's okay if that's part of the plan. I'm just not sure if it is at the moment for us, because if we're trying to get Muniz, it suggests we're trying to get a physical presence up there who can like stretch defences and actually bother people, which Pirot doesn't really do. But like he had a decent shot, didn't he, from the edge of the box and stuff, and it showed that he's got, if he can get the little spaces, then I think Pirot probably does have some goals in him this season, but I don't want that to be our only bet.
He's just not a player who's going to like fashion a chance himself from getting on the ball and holding it up and bullying some players out of the way. Like I say, I think he does need people around him to link up with.
Yeah, definitely. We've had 2 years of watching Pirot. We know what he is. We know who he is. It's not going to change that much. So yeah, we need another option. It does feel like the pattern may be that we start with either Mecha or another striker, hopefully when we get another striker in, and then Pirot can come on to try and just find that goal in the last 20, 15 minutes, and that might be the way that we set up to play. And
if we're going more solid in midfield as well, because it looks like if it's going to be Ampadu, if it's going to be the 3 in midfield, if you give yourself the potential, I guess, to sacrifice maybe a bit in midfield and bring Pirot on to play as a sort of second striker, 10, like he was at the end of last season. I was never entirely convinced by it, but he did get a few assists and goals, didn't he, late on? So maybe that's an option as well.
Maybe, yeah. And another possible outgoing that we spoke about, I think last week, is Isaac Schmidt. But it seems maybe that he might be starting on Monday if the evidence of the last couple of friendlies have gone by. But Farke's not having him, is he?
Is it just that Farke knows Sam Byram really well? So he's like, well, I don't need to see you play right back.
It was really...
I'm going to give Schmidt a go.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, judging by the weekend. It was interesting at the weekend because Schmidt was doing that thing again that he was doing against Villarreal, where he was defending very, very narrowly, and that's what their goal came from. It was hard to work out, like, are you being asked to do that or are you hopelessly out of position? Because it was hard. I don't think Goodmanson at left back was defending as narrowly. I don't know. It was hard to...
The problems were all down Schmidt's side.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't given a great deal of help from Dan James, who's sort of getting back to fitness. But yeah, watching that, I was just like, play Sam Byram. It's fine. We know he knows where to stand. I'm cool with that.
I was watching Rodon as well, and he had the look of a man speaking to Ilan Meslier when he was speaking to Schmidt at points. A kind of, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, there was a bit where there was a pass sort of behind him, and there was no one actually around him, and he could have just let it go out, but you could tell he was just in his own head that much by that point. He sort of took a touch and let it go out, and it was like, why have you just given him the corner for no reason? So yeah, I'm guessing Schmidt long-term probably isn't the answer at right back. I mean, hopefully Bogle's just back fit and we don't have to worry about this.
Maybe he was playing him in the last couple of friendlies to put him in the old shop window. Look at what you can buy. This majestic player.
It sounded like he'd already had that agreed though, so he was like, no, don't let them back out of the deal now.
Yeah, just play Byram.
He's a bit of a, he's one you take to We Buy Any Car. So you don't have to, no one has to test drive it. You just turn up with it. There you go. There's a car. Have the money, please. Does it drive all right? Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. Klich has left Atlanta, but he didn't leave. He was let go.
He was let go. Yeah.
He was let go because he was one of the special signings that American clubs can have. That's right, innit? But it looks like he's going home. He's going to KS Cracovia, where he started his career. And you can tell that Michael put this prep sheet together because underneath it says, I checked, you can get a ticket for £9.
Weekend in Krakow, £9 to watch some football. Matt Klich.
That sounds bloody brilliant.
It sounds cool, doesn't it?
Why would you not? I've even looked from the central square to the stadium, 20-minute walk.
Lovely. How many pubs on the way?
I didn't check that yet. I've not gone into the... There'll be plenty, though.
Oh, yeah.
Is the thing.
From my experience of Poland, it's very, very cheap as well.
So I'm considering getting a Cracovia season ticket. That's what I'm saying.
Joining the Ultras.
But yeah, there were loads of tickets available.
Was there?
If you I think it was, because it's in Polish zloty. Is it zloty? Is that it? I think it was 90 for the expensive tickets, down to like £1. £1 zloty for an under 3.
Wow.
Which is basically free. So if you want to take any babies to see Matt Klich, you can do it for nothing.
Has that season started then?
I think it starts this weekend.
Yeah.
Looking at the tickets.
Let's get down there.
So, but yeah, I think it's a nice move for him to go back. I like these careers that kind of, a bit like Johnny Howson, that you kind of go full circle on it and you end up back where you started.
I mean, if this Premier League season goes south and is as horrible as it could be, let's just go do match balls from there instead.
Was it our last relegation season when you went to see Pablo?
Might
or was
be,
that?
Yeah. I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
It's a nice escape either way.
But yeah, I feel like it
was actually, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this has opened up a nice possibility for us to just go, we'll just do that instead. Yeah. When we've got a Monday night game or something, spend the weekend in Krakow.
Do you think he'd meet us for a beer as well?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
I think he might.
Get him, because as well, this is like a final move of his career, you would imagine. So at this point, he's probably willing to slag off Jesse Marsh.
Oh, that's what we want. I think he'd have been willing to slag off Jesse Marsh while Jesse Marsh was here.
There's a difficulty, though, of going to the States to do it, maybe. If he's maybe but would have been a bit like, some bit of sensitivity around this. I don't want to kind of paint their guy in a bad light. Whereas now he's back home, it'd be like, he's fucking useless, that guy.
I hated him.
Yeah, put a few high strength beers in him and just put a microphone in his face and see what he says.
It doesn't seem to have been confirmed yet, but people on Twitter are saying it, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah, and best of luck to him. Hopefully he can drag them into the Europa League and we can get into the Europa League and we'll have a proper piss up.
That would be nice.
Krakow. Just to kind of swing right the way back around to where we started. Pre-season's over. How are we feeling? Heading into Monday, we are very hopeful that the squad we have right at this moment in time is not the squad that will see us through the majority of the season. But knowing what we know, I'll start with you, Rob. How are you feeling? How's your optimism? Where are you, Rob?
I'm glad pre-season is over. I'm excited for the proper stuff to start. I was saying to you, Michael, yesterday, I've kind of missed the fear. I think you need that a little bit to just get excited about it. But yeah, cautiously optimistic, I would say. I think there's a lot of hype in the Premier League, and actually there's a lot of quite bad teams, or teams that are ready to hit the panic button because there's so much money at stake. And I'm hoping we can take advantage of that. It's like what Paul Reaney was saying at the Player of the Year awards at the end of last season, just fear no one because there's a load of shite out there. And I think let's just not be shite and we give ourselves a very good chance.
I do feel like the league will have a different shape to it this year because I don't see any of the 3 promoted teams being as bad as the last 3 probably. So I think I can see Sunderland and Burnley taking points off someone, which Southampton just didn't last year. They just lost every week, as did Leicester. Ipswich were marginally better, but still went down on. Did they even get to 30 points?
God knows.
It wasn't many.
Don't think so. I don't think any of them did.
No. So it was like it made everyone above them look very safe.
Yeah.
But actually, they were terrible too.
Yeah.
Loads of those teams.
It was a real shame because otherwise you would have had Man United and Tottenham in a genuine relegation fight, which would have just been fucking brilliant.
Yeah. But so I don't know. I will feel more confident if we can get another couple of players. The players we signed I actually quite like. I quite like what I've seen of them. The profile of them seems quite sensible in terms of we're going for people in the middle of their career who've played at a decent level, who are physically imposing. I can see a lot of logic to it. Just needs a bit of something extra, doesn't it? I think because I feel like we're going to struggle to probably score goals as it stands.
I feel a bit like the start of this season, like I did at the start of Farke's first season after we just got relegated, where I was like, if you can just sort out the defence, make us solid and organised, and then show a bit of a plan of how to progress the ball from defence to midfield to attack, I think we might just have enough talent to, there's talented players there, they will score a few goals. And I sort of feel like that this season. I was like, just get organised, be hard to beat. We'd know Nonto's played well for a bit in the Premier League. Dan James has had his moments or his experience. You're hoping Perot can step up and do something.
Jack Harrison, years of experience. Is he our most experienced Premier League footballer?
Like him and Bamford, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. So I feel like they've done good work towards making us solid, getting us organised. Midfield looks all right. Still got players like Tanaka who I'm really excited to see step up. But then, yeah, you are looking at just add a bit of stardust to it. I think that would go a long way.
Jack Harrison actually got an interesting reception, didn't he, in Dublin? There were definitely some boos, but then
got cheered for a bit.
There were cheers afterwards and stuff.
And a few more boos.
Yeah. What would you have done?
I'd have stayed quiet.
I think that's about where I'd get to with it as well. I just
Sony silence.
Yeah.
I felt bad with the boos, but then I was like, there's no need to cheer him either. Running over from left back. Come on.
Yeah, so in the crowd to both groups of people, there's no need for that. Well, there's no need for that either.
Hang on, he's just crossed that corner out of play.
And final question before we wrap this update up. Should Leeds play in Dublin every pre-season?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked great.
Looked nice.
It looked amazing. We're going to talk to Chris about this a little bit more on Friday's show, which is going to be a deep dive of the first edition of the magazine. But yeah, it just looked stunning to see, for all of the Irish Leeds fans to have that experience. And I read somewhere as well that that's the first time the Aviva has sold out, that stadium has sold out since the Irish national team played Portugal about 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. But we've always had a huge following in Ireland.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
We used to go there regularly for pre-season and we played 2 or 3 games, but it's, I don't know, I guess the days of pre-season being just that kind of a thing have changed a bit, haven't they? Someone needs to be making some money out of it. Yeah. So if we're going to play a high-profile game against someone, it's a good place to do it.
I imagine Temple Bar made a few quid out of thousands of Leeds fans.
I mean, Rodon's brother was there, wasn't he? So
was
Sam Rodon was in town, so yeah, I would imagine they did.
Nice.
There was a live stream of Temple Bar, and at 9 a.m, it was just full of Leeds shirts. I was like, I'm so jealous. I wish I was there now.
Yeah, I was talking to a mate, and he said that sounds like a great day out. Loads of Leeds fans, and then playing AC Milan. It's a cool gig. So we're going to petition for Leeds to play in Dublin every pre-season. Give the people what they want.
Yeah. I'll try to arrange my holidays better because I did consider going to this, but I was like, no, I'm getting home late. And then I did get through my front door about 2 a.m. And I'm thinking, if I had to get up at 7 a.m. to get to the airport, I'd probably cry. So it was the right choice to not go.
You could have got into the airport, had a couple of airport pints, and just sailed through the day.
Yeah, but I'm too old.
Yeah, be a hell of a crash the following day.
I'm quite old now. I can't be doing that.
You coward. Anyway, right, so we'll wrap up there. Listen out for the rest of the week. We have Johnny Cooper in on Thursday for the West Stand, then we've got the Mag Deep Dive on Friday.
Maybe an emergency pod when we sign some players.
Who are we going to sign?
Muniz.
Who else played with Johnny House? And
Alex Mowat.
Yeah.
Charlie Taylor.
Yeah. Richard Naylor.
Was he there at the same time? No.
Bit of an overlap, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe when Lewis Cook was 15, he played.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe an emergency pod, probably not. Then remember the show to come. And then we start the season. There's actual football to talk about next week, gentlemen.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, bring it on.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Bring it on. That's where we'll finish this. Thank you so much. We'll speak to you very soon. Thank you.
The Square Ball Podcast.